focus on getting stronger every single workout. You want to have your logbook or your X3 app and get the regular X3 and just you count your full reps and your partial reps. Because imagine you're training and you're 1/2 repetition away. Like you've already tied your previous best, but you can do just a 1/2 repetition beyond what you did last time. That's going to be the trigger for growth. That means you're getting stronger every time. Because if you can do that 1/2 rep, that means you got stronger from last workout. And because you did something that you've never done before, it means you're going to be stronger on the next workout. Hi, my name is Jaquish. Today I want to talk about the fact, and it's a fact, muscular size and muscular strength are exactly the same thing. There's a whole bunch of people that will tell you that they are different things, but I'm going to show you evidence to explain why they are, for the most part, wrong. I can tell you what the confusing parts are. And once you understand what you're really trying to do is become as strong as possible so that you can build as much muscle as possible, everything becomes clear. Because if you don't realize that and you think that the volume argument has the same validity that the high intensity argument does, you're going to be confused. Your workout is going to be really suboptimal because you're just going to be doing all sorts of volume, and that's not how anything happens in the body. And then you're just going to end up spinning your wheels. I'll start with my story. When I first developed X3, and then even before that, I developed OsteoStrong, the medical device for bone density. Everything having to do with bone and triggering the growth of it had to do with the highest possible intensity of exposure to force. So for example, the hip joint, the minimum dose of force to go through this hip joint to trigger growth is 4.2 multiples of body weight. Now let me give you an example. You could go 4 multiples of body weight and do 100 repetitions. And what will it do for your bone density? The answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. But if you do one loading cycle, so not 100 reps, 1 rep of a force that is beyond 4.2 multiples of body weight, let's say it's 4.2 or 4.3, one exposure to that level of force triggers the growth. So it's a perfect example of how the central nervous system sees a trigger, sees like a certain threshold, and we can measure it very accurately. This is very well known, and probably one of the best studies I've ever read was what determined this, and it was done with very careful radiology into the bone, pre and post load exposures. Phenomenal study. So also, that study has never been challenged, and it works in line with a lot of the observations that were made about bone and how bone density grows, all the way from 1895 when Dr. Julius Wolff wrote the laws of mechanotransduction, which is basically how we put mechanical force through the body and how the body adapts. So very important, never been challenged or disproven. Now, when you take that into that same logic and you look at muscular growth, it's like if a muscle is capable of lifting 300 pounds and it can do it 10 times, if you go and use 200 pounds and do 10 repetitions, that will do nothing. Absolutely nothing. What you have to do is, if you can do the 300 pounds 10 times, you go all out and you train like that. So there's already a problem though. And this is why the volume guys do have a voice. It's safety. So ultimately, if you look at like the American College of Sports Medicine or the National Academy of Sports Medicine, these are two very public-facing training societies, sports performance societies, where they're trying to curate, and they also, well, at least the ACSM has a few different academic journals. So why are all these journals seemingly obsessed with talking about high volume studies? Like there was one where I read that somebody was doing 23 sets per workout, per exercise. It was actually squats, 23 sets of squats, maximum effort. Now, you can throw that study in the trash, because if you ask ChatGPT how many maximum efforts can you have with the same muscle group in one workout, it says between 1 and 3. So how is this other, I mean, it's referencing tons of data. And when you see that, and then you see somebody saying max effort 23 different times with the same exercise, either they're lying that this happened at all, or they did not train with max effort, which is probably the case. And if they didn't train with max effort, then they're just really not doing anything. You're just basically just screwing around in the gym. My particular example is, everybody's seen my before and after pictures. My first 2 years, it was one set, all out, diminishing range. So, you go to fatigue here, and then as you go to deeper levels of fatigue, the reps get shorter and shorter. So you fatigue in that stretched range of motion, but first you fatigue at the top. So you let's say I'm holding 550 here, I can't get there anymore. Then I'm doing reps with 400. Then I'm doing reps with 300. Then I'm doing reps with 200. So as that happens, a much more profound level of exhaustion happens, and that's the trigger for growth. But what it's doing, when I do it with variable resistance, like I just demonstrated here, I take the risk out of it. And that's really what variable resistance, this is a little different way I'm talking about variable resistance. Yeah, there are some special properties, and yeah, it is profoundly better, and I can demonstrate that scientifically, but a lot of people have trouble getting their head around it. So just think about it this way. I can take my 90-year-old mother and run her through heavy deadlifting, partially because she's been doing it for a while. Obviously, I started her off very light, but the chances of injury with variable resistance are much lower. And the exposure to high levels of mechanical tension are incredible, way beyond what you get with weights. That's why the strap line of the product is greater force, greater gains. So you're training with tremendous forces. And coincidentally, a study just came out. Mechanical tension is seemingly the only trigger for growth. Now, it's associated with a pump and metabolites pooling in the muscle, and while all that's great, those things are not seen as what drives growth. It's the mechanical tension that drives growth, because those other things are sort of downstream of the mechanical tension. So you need that relevant mechanical tension and velocity loss, which means as you're moving it, you're fatiguing. And when you do it with variable resistance, you can just get to a much deeper level of fatigue, more powerful stimulus, so you spend way less time exercising, way more time growing, and the risk to you is so much less. And again, these organizations that are very outward facing, trying to engage the training public, the reason they're talking about reps in reserve and basically training like a sissy and not really lifting heavy weights and just doing set after set after set is because this is what has worked or can work for elderly deconditioned people. So you're really doing like the care home workout when you're training with volume. Like the idea is these guys are going to give people the information so that they can go to a gym with very little knowledge and not get hurt. Well, by doing that, you're also telling them 52 sets per body part, which would end up being like something like 10 or 20 hours of training per week, which, do you think elderly people are going to do that? Let me back up. Do you think anyone is going to take the time to do that other than maybe a professional bodybuilder who's decided that the inefficient path is what he or she wants to go down? Maybe. I don't know. It sounds like a lame program to me. So here's the takeaway. Focus on getting stronger every single workout. You want to have your logbook or your X3 app. And there's two apps. There's one that goes along with the force bar, but then we have a free one. That one costs $15 a month, and you have to get the force bar. Don't worry about that one. get the regular one, it's free, and get the regular X3, and just you count your full reps and your partial reps. Because imagine you're training and you're 1/2 repetition away. Like you've already tied your previous best, but you can do just a 1/2 repetition beyond what you did last time. That's going to be the trigger for growth. That means you're getting stronger every time. Because if you can do that 1/2 rep, that means you got stronger from last workout. And because you did something that you've never done before, it means you're going to be stronger on the next workout. Keep that in mind. I look forward to seeing your comments. See you on the next one.
If this video helped you, I want you to subscribe and follow. I'm going to put out videos on a regular basis. I think they're going to help a whole lot of people, especially if you're one of those people that doesn't just instantly grow from lifting regular weights. We've got the answer for you.